Ah, oh my God. Changing OBS caused the game to crash. Oh boy. Yeah, it's one of those games. Just a second, everybody. Just give me a minute. Game will be back up. Yeah, there we go. We're back. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Good evening or good afternoon, wherever you're at. I'm Najumu here, and welcome to more paper perjury. So, a little bit of a recap on what happened last time around. We did manage to finish case 2, and yes, it turns out the chef was pretty much sus, and he did it, and he basically attacked the maid because he was worried about his job. He was threatened by Owen Eubanks, who seems to be the primary antagonist of this game. But with that said, we're not done with the Eubanks family yet, because we already have a third case, which involves the orphanage that they quote unquote gave money to. But considering how, like, Owen, who basically owns the orphanage, doesn't seem to actually give the money back to the orphanage and takes it for himself, we'll have to figure out why is he doing this and how are we going to catch him in the act. With that said, though, we are going to continue. We're going to continue. Basically, the last time we stopped, we are reaching the alleyway, and we're going to meet a new character in this chapter. I wonder how they are going to fare. Looking at the chat, we have Sir Lancelot 2009. Welcome back. Hello, hello. Hope you are doing well. It might be a little bit confusing because you might have not seen the previous streams, but let me put in exclamation YT. There we go. Considering how I am also dual streaming this on YouTube as well, you can check the archives for that one if you feel like the game is actually kind of interesting. Never played this one. This one actually came out at the end of last year. It is kind of underrated because, you know, not many people talk about this, but as a game that is strongly inspired by Ace Attorney, yeah, I think this game is actually pretty cool. All right, without further ado, let's actually continue. Okay, April 24th, Azure City alleyway. This art seems... Hey, who the heck are you? Doughboy? You know this guy? I wouldn't forget. This little punk is frying oil, but everyone calls him Doughboy because of his art. He vandalizes my dad's shop every week. I spread my art to a lot of places. What of it? Nickel and Diamonds Antiques. You know the store. Hey, you guys are the ones who keep erasing art. Take your art away from our shop. Mind filling me in? Doughboy here runs around spray painting on various buildings. It's always like desserts, like cookies and cakes. I see. So, Mr. Doughboy, we heard you were involved in a car accident last month. Klaus Orphanage ring any bells? Psst, that's none of your business, pal. I'm afraid it is my business. I'm Detective Ernest Hunt, and this is my assistant, Justina Smith. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Cops? No way! I ain't talking. You can either talk to us here or at the station. Your choice. If you cooperate, we'll leave you and your pastries in peace. Alright, hold on. Let me lower the audio a little bit from my side. There we go. Fine, whatever. I'll talk. Statement. Here we go. I wanted to pull a prank on that old orphanage guy. Figured it'd be funny. So about 1:30, I jacked up the brakes at his car. Not much else to it. In and out, no trouble. One of you cops came by later to question me, but she kept insisting I didn't do it. Noel's statement. Fry claims to have visited the orphanage at around 1:30 p.m. on the day of the accident. He admits to causing the accident, but Detective Swift seems to think otherwise. This little prank of yours could have killed a man. You should feel ashamed of yourself. You know, this kid can actually be a good prankster YouTuber. Yeah, he might get some clout. Hey, Rayquaza, hello. Good morning. Whatever you say, Greenie. Greenie, you little... Don't let him get to you. Right. Guess we have to question him now. This is gonna be a long day. Alright, let's talk. Pastries. I see you're a fan of pastries. Sure am. They're the perfect subjects. Round, soft, sweet. This is what humans were made to eat. I prefer savory pastries myself. Savory? Savory pastries are for cowards. I see. He's very opinionated. I hear you were classmates with Meg. Were you two friends? Can't imagine why anyone would want to be friends with this guy. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe not. Never mind then. If I can ask, why exactly did you decide to become a menace to society and vandalize people's property? Oh, hey, Akane. Hello. Good evening. Art has no boundaries. I ain't gonna let my creativity be stifled by a bunch of landlords. It ain't always proper and legal. My works make a statement. You should be thanking me for making this dump of a city look better. Wow, the arrogance of this kid. Graffiti is not making the city look better. Says you, my pastries are beautiful. I just want to bring some life to all this boring concrete. Just because you can't appreciate art doesn't mean other people can't, Greenie. Whitehall Academy. I hear you attended Whitehall Academy. Did you cheat on the entrance exam or something? Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I think what she means to ask is, why not pursue a career instead of a life of petty crime? You don't think I have ways of making money? Sometimes I auction off my art. I got my own little online fan base, the Doughheads. Wow. Well, wow, he has an online fan base? See, I told you. This guy can easily be a YouTube prankster and immediately get clout. Doughheads, yeah. It's something. It's a name, all right. I'm sure he took like thousands of hours in order to figure out that kind of fan name. Good on you. They donate to me and stuff. Keeps my art going. People are paying him to vandalize? That's ridiculous. How would anyone donate to you? Jealous or something? The Doughheads are tired of boring losers like you who try to gatekeep art. Spreading the love and beauty of art and dessert, that's the motto of the Doughheads. Okay. Let's see. Alright, let's check, let's investigate. That's a pretty cupcake. Show the dead some respect. Dead? I painted this cupcake in honor of the 5th Street Big O Cupcakes. They made the best orange cupcakes this side of town. Until they closed last week. taken away too soon. Was it really that good? Of course it was. That's why we honor their legacy. Rising costs caused them to sell to a corporate chain. It's a struggle to keep a small business afloat these days. Big O Cupcakes will live on in our hearts. I feel bad for the owners. What about the pie? Looks like a slice of pie. What kind is it meant to be? It's the best kind of pie. Chocolate. You know what? I disagree. I prefer lemon pie. Chocolate is good, but I prefer lemon. I wonder if maybe vanilla is good too. Vanilla is pretty nice. Although I wouldn't expect vanilla to be very common as pies, unless someone can correct me with that statement. Chocolate? That's too decadent, even for me. Hey, detective, what's your favorite kind of pie? Mine would have to be a warm apple pie. My mom always baked those for our family. Me, I'm a simple man. I like a nice cherry pie. Great, now I'm hungry. What's this supposed to be? It's a roll cake, Greenie. I always called those jelly rolls. Yeah, but this one doesn't have any jelly. Eating all these sweets is starting to make me feel sick. Haven't you considered painting something else for a change? Something healthier, like broccoli. Well, broccoli probably wouldn't be as attractive to look at when it comes to art. Sure, eating it gives you a lot of health benefits, but visually, I don't know. But with pastries, like, it's a lot more alluring to look at, right? Pastries involve a little bit of more creativity when it comes to, like, how they look. No way! I hate broccoli! I only paint things that brings me joy anyways. Hey! Broccoli can bring you joy too. You just have to cook it right. I don't know about that. Why is this eclair so lifeless? It's just an outline, Greenie. I haven't finished it yet. Outline? You don't really seem like the type to paint with a plan in mind. My art takes a lot of time and thought, Greenie. But I wouldn't expect you to appreciate fine art. Fine art? It's spray-painted desserts. I put a lot of consideration into every drop of paint. It all comes together to form a delicious masterpiece. I see. Wonder how it will turn out. So much spray paint. He put his initials on these cans too. C4E1C, C48E1C, and 6D4D3A. What the heck are you talking about? The colors of the spray paint. Those are hexadecimal codes. Hexo. What? It's just a way of sharing color values. Pretty necessary for computers. Color me impressed. You figured it out by just looking at it. What can I say? I'm the daughter of two artists. Let's see how long it'll take for him to figure out the numbers are on the spray paint. Wow. That was something. All right. Let's actually review the statement. Okay, let's actually look at the evidence. Okay, a bit of a refresher when it comes to the evidence. Chandra claims roughly 25,000 alms were transferred from the charity fund to a shell corporation, DG Turtles LLC, where proof of the embezzlement has gone missing. Now, Klaus, on the day of the accident, Bill had left a meeting with his landlady when the brakes of his car failed. As he was driving slowly, he was uninjured. A ledger of the orphanage's expenses from last month totaling 50,000 alms, all of which have been paid on time. A receipt for the car brakes purchased by Meg at 1:15 p.m. on the day of the crash. The brakes were ordered for pickup at a local auto parts store. A letter from Bill's insurance company disputing his claim for damages on his car. According to Miss Eubank, any money raised by the Klaus charity can only be used to pay for orphanage expenses. Both parties have passed every audit. Annie claims that she performed a magic trick for Bill at 1:45 p.m. She also claims that she saw someone running away right before the crash. According to Annie, all of the orphanage's rent payments in the past month were paid on time from the orphanage's account. According to Miss Card, Meg finished rebuilding her new car 2 weeks ago on April 10th. Miss Card provided her with the parts and taught her much of the process. There's a quaint little window in the landlady's office near the door. It has a decent view of the motel, including the garage. A cabinet used for one of Annie's magic tricks. The back of the cabinet has a hidden door, and there are wheels underneath to allow it to be moved easily. The lease agreement between the motel and the Klaus orphanage, under which the Klaus orphanage cannot be evicted except for unpaid rent. Meg claims she was working on Bill's car until 1:45 p.m. on the day of the crash. Bill has since hired her to repair his car for him, which he almost finished. Okay, Bill's car on the same one that was involved in the accident. It's a rare model, and parts for it are expensive and difficult to come by. A box in the garage for storing rope. It's full of tangled, frayed rope. Meg claims there was originally one long spool of rope inside. A can of spray paint in Meg's garage. Someone has sprayed the initials FN on it. Fry claims to have visited the orphanage at 1:30 p.m. on the day of the accident. He admits causing the accident, but Detective Swift thinks otherwise. There is the spray paint here, as we can see, but let's actually think about this. I wanted to pull a prank on that old orphanage guy. I figured it'd be funny. So about 1:30. Hold on. No, that's not right. As we seen here, she was still working on Bill's car until 1:45 p.m. and he said he's going to do it. He did the prank at 1:30. That's not right. It should be contradicting. There we go. Yeah. We talked to the mechanic at the orphanage. She said she was working on the car till 1:45 p.m. You couldn't have tampered with the brakes at 1:30. She would have seen you. Oh, Kiska, hello. Welcome, Kiska and Raiders. Welcome, welcome. Hello. How are you doing today? Let's put in the usual shout out. Yeah. I was lurking at your stream a bit earlier, and I were seeing you continuing the piece that you were working on last week, I believe. But yeah, but thank you. I appreciate the raid, and for anyone who is... Oh, you finished it. Nice. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. But yeah, for those who are new and coming from Kiska's channel, my name is Najumu. I am a being from light years away. I have nothing who came to Earth to have nothing but fun. I play a variety of games, but with a slight bias towards fighting games and visual novels like this one we're playing today, Paper Perjury. We have a little bit of Monster Hunter and Marvel Rivals these past few weeks, and maybe Fatal Fury City of the Wolves might be a regular weekly thing. We'll have to wait and see. This time we are continuing case 3, and we're figuring out the person who was responsible for causing the accident to the owner of the orphanage. So we're gonna figure it out. How's case 3 going so far? Well, we're trying to basically question this kid, this artist, quote unquote, because he just likes to spray graffiti of desserts all over the place. And Justina isn't very pleased with her interactions with this kid, because she basically interacts with him on the regular, considering how he spray paints around her father's place. A kid? I mean, he's kind of a teen. He's a teen, but I wouldn't say he's like a kid, but more like a teen, technically. All right. Oh, he sprayed his face. It better not be the case 3 syndrome all over again. I don't know. It still is connected to the previous cases, though. It is the orphanage that the Eubanks are funding, quote unquote. Now you're calling me a liar? Meg's the liar, always changing her mind whenever it suits her. No one said her name. Uh-oh, exposed. You know what? We got nothing else to talk about, Tom. Do you know Meg? I ain't telling you anything. He's hiding something. We need to force it out of him. Force it out of him? A way to prove Fry and Meg know each other. Oh yeah, it's the spray. The spray right there, that was in the garage. Boom! We found the spray can from the garage Meg works at. So what? It's just a can. See the FN there? I bet it stands for Fry Noyle, just like your other cans. The two of you did art together. Now tell us what you know. FN means found nothing. That's a weak comeback. Meg told us all about you, Fry. About how you messed up and blamed her. It was her fault for playing dumb, not mine. I'm having a hard time believing you. That's a pretty bold bluff he's pulling. You kidding me? She asked me to come over that day twice. I bail her out, and then she turns around and spits in my face. Calls me a liar. How'd you bail her out exactly? You know what? Forget it. I'm not saying another word to you. You either talk to us now, or you can stew this over a jail cell. Over in a jail cell. Your choice. All right. Jeez, you're real pushy, you know that? Look, Meg and I went to school together, took art classes and stuff. We got close. Real close. But then, she up and tells me she wants to be friends. Oh, we got hit by the friend zone. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So after graduating, we stayed friends. We kind of started drifting apart. Then out of nowhere, I got some letters from her saying she changed her mind, talking about all her feelings for me. Sounds pretty sweet, right? She wants to meet up at her old room on the day of that accident, around 1:50 p.m. So what happened next? And then the weird thing happens. Around 1 p.m., she calls me and asks me to go pick up a car brake pedal for her. So I did. I brought it to her around 1:30 p.m. She gets all overjoyed and happy about it too. Now I feel kind of bad. Well, poor kid is probably he just wants to be in love with her. But then when I asked her about us and the letter, she acts like she has no idea what I was talking about. Can you believe that? She really used me. Just plays the sick joke, then wants to act like I'm the one lying about it. I ain't one to let that slide. So I just took those stupid brakes and left. So, you didn't mess with the brakes in Bill's car? No, I didn't. Then why take the credit? Apparently some lady from there saw me leaving and decided to blame me for it. So I decided to roll with it. If people think I nearly killed a man and got away with it, nobody would want to mess with me. Did Meg tell you why she wanted the brakes? I didn't ask. She ordered them online, so I grabbed it. Do you still have it? I returned it. Money probably got refunded to her card. I don't have a use for a car brake. And just because she used me doesn't mean I'm gonna steal her stuff. I see. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Noyle. Whatever. Just get out of here and leave me alone already. A letter from Meg sent to Fry Noyle, professing her love for him, and asking him to meet her at the orphanage at around 1:50 p.m. Yeah, you know what? I actually feel a little bit bad for him. What I don't agree with is, like, him being okay with taking the blame in order to sound like he's a tough guy. Like, no, if it was someone else, if it wasn't for, like, Justina and Hunt, and it was someone else who would probably be a lot less merciful on you, yeah, you'd be in jail, pal. The only place you'd be drawing your graffiti would be inside the jail cell. If you can do that, regardless. Unused car brakes. Apparently, Meg requested Fry to buy the replacement car brakes around 1 p.m. the day of the accident. However, Fry never delivered them. So what now? We got a new lead to follow up on. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so let's get back to her. The car I was rebuilding. To be fair, he's not an adult, and teenagers are not exactly known for being logical. So while him taking credit for a crime is dumb, it sounds plausible for someone his age. Fair point, Spooky. Fair point. Fair point. Yeah, teenagers, not the most emotionally intelligent. If that makes any sense, most of the time. Just give me a second here. Okay. Okay, let's see. The car I was rebuilding already has brakes, but I found out they're all worn out. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. I was just opening a can of juice. All right, let's see. Penny usually helps me with parts, but she didn't have any brakes I could use, so I got them myself. I ordered them online, and I went and picked them up when I got out of work. Ah, that's where you're wrong. No. Fry was the one who picked them up, so we should present this. Yeah. An interesting thing happened today. We paid a visit to the Fry Noyle. He claims that you asked him to pick up those car brakes for you just before the accident. You two got into a fight about something, so he left with them. You didn't pick up those brakes. Tell us the truth. Please beg, don't keep lying. It was an accident, I swear. Tell us what happened. It was me. I broke the brakes. I was under the steering wheel of the car, and I must have been putting on my weight on the pedal. So my theory, either Meg is a two-faced snake, or some third party used Fry's vulnerable position of forged Meg's love letter to emotionally manipulate him. Could be. Could be the latter. We'll see. I thought it would be fine, but I ended up snapping the bridge in half. That's when I asked Fry for help. After he left with them, I tried using metal glue and tape to repair it temporarily. And I went on break hoping it would be fine. But then they failed when Bill tried to drive it. Was Bill aware of this? I was going to tell him, but he got back before I finished my break. I didn't have a chance to tell him. The glue and the tape must have come off while he was driving. I didn't get to explain what happened until after the crash. Oh, hold on. Just give me a second. Nope. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was just, for some reason, I was a little angry. I was angry at the Eubanks for some reason, but yeah, I think we should be okay. Hold on. It was an accident. Why did you tell the police that? If my boss found out I nearly killed a customer, I'd have been fired for sure. The landlady said she saw someone leaving the parking lot, and so that's who took the blame. Bill and I never told her the truth. We just agreed to her side of the story. So he was trying to protect you. The person leaving, was that Fry? He said he left at 1:30. How could the landlady have seen him? I don't know. Maybe he lingered around a bit. He was very upset about that stupid letter. I told him I didn't write it, but he didn't believe me. Oh, look at that, Spooky. Look at that. Your second theory is sounding pretty plausible. It's sounding pretty plausible. A landlady? Yeah. Yeah, she owns the building where the orphanage was. Yeah. She is the owner of the orphanage, right? She leased it to the current owner. Sounds like a shady character. Well, it might be. She might be shady. We'll have to wait and see. If you didn't write it, then who did? I don't know. It must have been a cruel prank. I'm really sorry about everything. Don't be. Bill should have told me. Detective, what do we do? I was really looking forward to catching the one who hurt my friend. but not like this. Miss Assistant, I need you to do me a favor. Head back to the station with Meg. We need her to give us the full facts of this case. Am I under arrest? It's just a routine procedure, as long as you come willingly. If you cooperate, I'll make sure this doesn't appear on your criminal record. Can you do that? I understand. I'll go. What about you? I'll keep investigating on what we actually came here for. Tell the others I said hello. Broken brakes. Meg claims that she accidentally snapped the brakes on Bill's car less than an hour before the crash. Nobody was informed about it. Maybe this landlady person knows more than she's letting on. I have a good feeling she is. April 24th, 12:40 p.m. Azure City Police Precinct Number 5, Station Lobby. I'm back, Miss Earl. I brought a guest with me. I was expecting you to. Detective Hunt called and told me what happened. I thought I told you that this case was closed, but I suppose we can worry about that later. Miss Kaneki, right? I'm Sue P. Earl, and I'm the head clerk here. Do you mind coming with me? I want to get the full story. Oh man, more of these bots. Sure, okay. Don't worry, Meg. Just tell her the truth and everything will be fine. Well, I hope she'll be okay. Justy, you're back! Sophie? Don't surprise me like that. Sorry. I'm just happy to see you. You solved the case. If you keep going like this, you'll be a full detective before you know it. Thanks, but I wish you could have been there. This was your first case. Don't worry about it. Better be solved by you than let it go cold forever. But no buts. We still have a bigger case to solve, so chin up. How did things at the orphanage go? Did you and Red finally get anything on BG Turtles? No, nothing at all. Whatever is going on, it looks like the orphanage has nothing to do with it. Well, I did some digging myself. From what I could find, the charity could legally transfer the money, as long as it was agreed to by both the charity and the orphanage. The money would also need to be used within the confines of what's permissible for charity money. Specifically, it can't be used for the benefit of anyone at the charity or the orphanage. But I couldn't find anything on BG Turtles LLC itself. So, where do we go from here? If only we still had Chandra's proof. Well, why don't we try talking to her again? Who, Chandra? Yeah, maybe she can point us in the right direction. It's worth a shot anyways. You've got a point. Let's go. You wait in the interrogation room. I'll go grab Chandra. We're in the interrogation room. Good afternoon, Chandra. How are you holding up? As well as I could be, given everything. Did you find out anything? Unfortunately not. We don't have much to go off right now. All we have is your claim. But without any proof, you've got nothing. We thought you could help us. Well, I'll help however I can. What do you want to know? I wanted to ask, why exactly did you decide to steal half of the money from the safe? You must have had a reason. I thought I went over this before, but I guess I can explain it again. Owen had me help him with the accounting work for the charity money.
While I was going over the numbers, I learned that part of the money was missing. I dug further, and that's when I was able to find the name BG Turtles LLC. So, the amount of money that was supposed to be in the safe wasn't there. If we took half of the money in the safe, it would make it obvious what the true amount was. Then the Eubanks would be exposed for their theft.
That's pretty clever.
So how much money was supposed to be in the safe? Roughly 380,000 alms. Then that means the amount that was actually in the safe was 355,000 alms. Wait, that's it. Sophie, the police recorded the amount of money in the safe, right?
They should have.
I'll go check with Sue. We'll need to confirm the fundraised amount as well. Do you know where we might find a record of that? Well, the Eubanks should have it. Right. I doubt we'll get them to cooperate with us willingly. I don't think either of the Eubanks would be happy if we showed up at the estate again.
Well, we could always try their office in the city. I'm sure they'd have records there.
Good idea. Let's give that a shot then. Thank you for your help, Chandra. Good luck. I hate to keep bothering Chandra, but she's the only chance we have. Could the Eubanks really have stolen the money themselves? If so, then why? Maybe it's like Detective Hunt said, they do it because they can. But I can't shake the feeling there's more to the story. Hey, Justy, I'm back. Sophie, what did you find out? You were right. There were about 355,000 alms recovered from the safe money. Ah, now we have to find the Eubanks records, and they'll have nothing to hide behind. You're all pumped up all of a sudden. It's just, after seeing what Chandra went through with her firing, how much the orphanage means to Detective Hunt, I can't let all of that be in vain. It's up to us to solve this case now. That's the spirit. I like the sight of you, Justy. Anyways, let's head out. We can take the police cruiser. Why would we ever do that when we have Zephyr? Hang on. I still haven't recovered from the last time we rode that. My head and stomach were spinning for the whole next day. Ah, come on. We'll get there so much faster. Just hold on to me and you'll be fine. But... oh, well... needless to say, I hugged the ground as soon as we arrived. Eubanks Investments. Lobby. Wow. So this is Eubank Investments. It's just as cold and dreary as I expected. They could at least hang a painting or two.
Excuse me, can I help you with something?
Ah! Why does every person in this city sneak up on me? We're with the Azure City Police. I'm Detective Sophie Swift, and this is my assistant, Justina Smith.
Police officers, huh? Well, Eubank Investments is always happy to cooperate with the police. What can I assist you with, officers?
At this point, you might as well just hand me a badge.
This guy, we already saw him at the end of Case 2 when Owen was talking to him about that other company. He has something to do with it too.
Well, you could start with your name.
Oh, my apologies. How rude of me. My name is Lowell Ledger, Executive Assistant. Now, was there some reason for your visit?
We're here to investigate the Clouds charity. I'm aware that Eubank Investments handles the fundraising.
Clouds charity? I'm sorry, but you'll have to take up that matter with the president.
President? Well, can we speak with him then? I'm afraid he's not here at the moment. He's a very busy man. Hang on a moment. We didn't come here to just be turned away. We suspect someone was involved with the charity. We suspect someone involved with the charity may have embezzled some of the money. All we need is to verify the amount that was raised. Surely you could help us with that. That is, if you have nothing to hide. Embezzlement, huh? Yes, I believe I can help you with that. One moment, please. Well, that certainly got him in the mood to cooperate. What do you make of all of this, Sophie? Do you really think the Eubanks are hiding something? You saw Chandra's files. There's clearly something Mr. Eubank doesn't want us knowing about. A man in a purple suit, yeah. Interesting fashion statement. As for why, I'm not sure. But right now, we should confirm that Chandra's info is correct. You're right. By the way, about the accident case. I don't have much to say on it. I'm just glad you and Red were able to solve it. I just thought you should know. Your early investigation was invaluable to us. You know who else is known for wearing purple? Waluigi? Without you, we wouldn't have been able to track down Doughboy. That was what led us back to Meg in the first place. I should have figured all of it out on my own. Fred trained me himself. He vouched for me to take on the car crash case. And I failed him. I failed Bill. I failed myself. That's not true. You're a great detective. You could have arrested Fry as soon as you found him. I certainly would have. Waluigi, William Afton, and the most relevant connection here, Mr. White of Blue Corp infamy. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I remember, yeah, that guy. That guy was ultra sus. The first second you get to see him in Phoenix Wright, he is immediately sus. You already know this guy's the criminal. He did it. He did it. But you didn't. You even wrote why in the case file. I spoke with the primary suspect, Fry Noyle. He said he broke the brakes and his motive was to gain street cred. But when asked for details, he refused to explain how he broke the brakes. Given how upfront he was about motive and opportunity, not explaining the means is unusual. This has led me to believe he is lying and is not our culprit. With no other evidence, I have no grounds to keep Fry Noyle as a suspect. Now tell me, were you honest when you wrote that? I was. Then you knew you did the right thing. Today, Bill told us a lot of employers turn people down for a criminal record, no matter how small. You stop that. No matter what I think of him, he shouldn't be arrested for crimes he didn't commit. If you ask me, that makes you a great detective. You really mean it? I do, and we're going to prove it now. We'll crack this embezzlement case and reveal the Eubanks' secrets. Ahem. Ah! Not again. How long has he been listening to us? Here's the file you so politely requested. Take a look. I assure you, all of our dealings are above board. We'll see about that. Let's see. It's a pretty boring financial document. Thankfully, I'm pretty good at reading those. Total amount fundraised. 380,017 alms. According to the record, according to recovered charity money on Klaus charity records, approximately 25,000 alms are accounted for from the fundraised money. Mr. Ledger, are you absolutely certain that this is the correct amount? I can attest to its accuracy. Is there some sort of problem with that amount? Should I reveal the discrepancy to him? Yes! Mr. Ledger, is it true that that Owen Eubanks stored all the fundraised money himself? He did, yes. We counted the amount of money that was stored in the safe. There's about 25,000 alms missing from the total amount. But missing, you say? Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. Likely story. Yeah, look at that smirk. Look at that smirk. Folks, if you see this guy and he has this kind of smirk, then 100% he is a liar and extremely sus. No way about it. No other way about it. Obviously completely innocent. No way. So trustworthy. No way. I ain't trusting this guy. Thank you for your help, Mr. Ledger. So, now what? I think it's time to go have a chat with Mr. Eubank about this. The proof we have is sure to be a contentious confrontation. We'll head out when you're ready. Do you mind if we linger here for a second, Mr. Ledger? If you must. Okay, let's talk about him more. So, Mr. Ledger, what exactly do you do around here? As I said before, I am the assistant to the president. I assist him in all of his roles. If there's something he doesn't want to do, he delegates it to me. Admittedly, often smaller administrative tasks. Sounds like you'd rather be doing more. Of course I would. Our position wasn't easy to land, and I have no intention of stopping here. I'll continue climbing the ladder as far as I can go. Perhaps one day, I'll be the one running the show. You seem pretty ambitious. Ambition is the driving force of progress. If we just accept where we are in life, we'd never go further. I know that firsthand. My family was like that, always saddled in debt, never striving to get better. So I did something about it. I got my degree in business, and I did everything I could to get where I am now. I don't think that's a fair assessment. A lot of people don't have access to these same opportunities. Nobody chooses to end up that way. It can be a very difficult thing to get out of, ambition or not. There is always a means to an end, if only you are brave enough to pursue it. Good things come to those who deserve it. I mean, that's not the proper saying. I know that there is good things come to those who wait, but certainly Mr. Lowell is skewing the quote in order to justify his reasoning. You said something earlier about a president? That would be Anton Chambers, my boss. He's quite the ruthless businessman. It's easy to tell how he got his position. He's never afraid of taking risks, and never shies away from seizing opportunities when he sees them. In that way, I strive to do the same. Business is sink or swim. You either make it, or you don't. Eventually, you have to realize that sometimes your success has to come at the cost of another's. You might think it's cruel, but that's just how the world is. Those who deserve success are those who don't shy away from reaching it. What an awful way to look at things. I think you can be successful without undermining others in the process. That sort of naivety won't cut it here. Eubank Investments only hires those who are willing to do whatever it takes.
This is the sort of people who fill the business world. And thank the gods I didn't stay in management. Yeah, this guy is, I don't know. This guy is, definitely not a very nice person. What can you tell me about Eubank Investments? We're one of the most successful real estate and investment firms this side of the Azure Bay. He sure has a strong work ethic. Yeah, you could say that, Spooky. Our company's behind a lot of the city's recent major developments, including the transformation of the Sunrise District. Recently, we've even begun expanding our plans eastward, past the Junal Mountains. Sounds like the company's doing very well then. We've routinely broken our projected revenue, and that shows no sign of stopping. Business is good. Of course, that's dependent on the continued success of our developments. There has been some recent trouble, but it's nothing we can't turn around. Recent trouble, huh? I'm sure it's nothing, but I'll try to remember that for later. Oh, let's look around. This must be the reception desk. There's a place back here for someone to sit, but the receptionist must be gone. Hey, look! There's a bowl of candy back here. I'm sure they won't mind if we swipe a couple of pieces. Hey! You can't just run around taking things without asking first. You're a detective. You have to set a good example for everyone. What if this candy is an important clue? You never know. Probably doesn't even taste good. Free candy never does. You're no fun, Justy. There's a vase of pretty yellow flowers here. I think it's fair to say Mr. Eubank put these here. She really seems to like yellow flowers. I remember seeing similar ones at their estate. She said they represented optimism. How do flowers represent such abstract things like that? Like, who looks at a flower and decides what they represent? I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. Hold on. I wonder if there's any cheesy lines attached to this. May our profits bloom as beautifully as these. What kind of saying is that? Okay, to be a devil's advocate for a second, if his self-admitted origin is factually true, and he had to climb to this prestigious position with the skin of his teeth, while basically starting with close to nothing, so him having such a ruthless social Darwinistic outlook on life makes sense. I mean, you can plausibly say that, yeah, sure, I can understand that. But there are also people who started from nothing and became where they are without being ruthless, without being like stepping on others' shoulders in order to reach to the top. Although I don't know if it could be regarded as a rarity or not, because honestly, it kind of depends on the person. Like in most media, you have from rags to riches stories have the, started from nothing and then went to the top, becoming like merciless and a ruthless business entrepreneur or manager or whatever, or an occupation that made him rise to the top. I wouldn't say it's justifiable, but unfortunately, it's pretty realistic. Plenty of people do this. I can't argue that this is unrealistic. No, this definitely happens IRL more often than not. Like a lot of the well-known billionaires out there pretty much are in line with what Lowell is. So, but thankfully, it's not like all of them. Just a good number of them. I gotta love our hydration. I don't think I've ever seen this before. It must be the company's logo. Looks like the giant E in the shape of a skyrise. That's kind of clever. Yeah, I hate corporate logos like these. They're always so plain and uninspired. You know what, Justina? I actually agree. This looks kind of... It's just an E that's cubed or something. Just meant to be inoffensive and easily remembered. I don't think a corporate logo needs to be much more than that. Okay, window. We're in the heart of Azure City right now. I don't think I've ever been around here before. Well, this whole area is the primary financial district. There's not much here except for offices and corporate headquarters. You can't see much from down here, but the higher floors have great views of the city. Hey Lowell, do you think you could give us a tour of the upper offices? No. Well, it was worth a shot. There's a lot of comfy looking furniture in here. Well, they aren't as comfy as they look. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't we check the cushions? You never know what sort of clues we might find. All I found are some coins and a faded receipt. Oh, score! I got an unopened piece of gum. I'll trade you for the coins. Deal! There's a vending machine in the other room. There's enough here for a snack. Sucker. Okay, time to go. Eubank Estate, let's go. Eubank Estate foyer. I think I'd be back here again. Almost feels like yesterday. The cat! Toasty, no! Ah! He's barreling towards us. Aha! Gotcha! Oh, hi there, Fi. Long time no see. Miss Justina, Miss Sophie, you're back. It was nice seeing you again, Fi. How have you been? Well, Toasty and I really miss Oliver and Chandra. Father's making me clean my own room now. It's not fair. To talk about spoiled. We don't get any more of Oliver's extra special curry. Don't worry, Fi. There's plenty of curries in the world for you to enjoy still. So, are you guys here for more hide and seek? Not this time. We're here to speak with your father. Is he around? Aww. He's in his office. I'll take you there. That would be great. Thank you. All right, let's race. But wait! Now she's making a game out of it? Well, I'd better hurry there. Okay, so here's the interesting thing, because I didn't know that Fi in case 2, that Fi was like Owen's daughter. I didn't give her a British accent. I gave her a regular American accent, but I guess I'll say that both her parents are British and she came down to Azure City and it's in America and she had an American accent, unlike her parents. So, yeah. Back in the lion's den once more. Father, the nice police officers want to talk to you again. Thank you, Fi. Why don't you run off and play now? Okay. So, it's you again. Just how many times exactly are you going to invade my home before you're content? Hopefully this is the last time. We needed to talk to you about the Klaus charity. This nonsense again. What is it now? I thought you should know. Chandra recovered from her injuries today. I'm quite aware. We just had her dismissed from our employment. She claims you've been embezzling money from the charity. You. Hey, don't get mad at us. Those were her words. Regardless, we wanted to ask what you know about BG Turtles LLC. I have no idea what you're talking about. I never heard about that in my life. As if we know you stole Chandra's documents on it. Why don't you just come clean already? We've already caught you. I want you to consider your words very, very carefully, clerk. I can have you blacklisted from every job in Azure City and beyond. Now he thinks he can threaten me? Whoa, no need for that. Let's all just calm down. Aren't accusing you of anything at this time, Mr. Eubank. We just want to hear your side of things. Are you really going to entertain the baseless words of that snake? It would be irresponsible of us to not look into it. Besides, if there's nothing wrong with your statement, we won't bother you again. It sounds like someone extremely innocent would say. Yep, exactly. That kind of threat sure is a nice guy threat. Fine. But this is the last statement I'll give to you. Every year, our company fundraises money for the Klaus charity. After the money is collected and counted, it is stored here for safekeeping. We were making arrangements to transfer the money to the Klaus orphanage when our little incident happened. Because of that, all the money we collected is either still there or in your possession. According to Owen, all the fundraised charity money is stored in cash at the Eubank estate. He denies that any of the money was missing. So that's what he wants to claim, huh? If it's alright with you, we'd like to go over that with you in more detail. In the meantime, do you mind if we poke around a bit? Don't overstay your welcome. I heard Eubank Investments has a president. How can you tell me about them? That would be my compatriot, Anton Chambers. What does he do exactly? As president, Anton handles all the day-to-day management of the company and our business ventures. Recently, he secured us on numerous new property developments. In essence, he is the beating heart of the company. Huh. So I guess you just sit around all day and collect a paycheck? I assure you, my role involves a lot of work. As CEO, my responsibilities revolve around our company's future. With it, I carry the very soul of Eubank Investments. Sounds to me like you're just the ideas guy. I'm tired of this discussion. Drop it. I think I poked a nerve there. Do you know anything about the accident that happened at the Klaus orphanage last month? I heard about it, yes. Thank the gods that nobody was harmed. It's a real shame about that car, though. A classic like that deserved a better death. It's not quite dead yet. Bill's having it repaired. Easy now. That would cost him quite the penny. I can hardly imagine how he could afford such a thing. Now that I think about it, how did Bill wind up with the money? I should ask him about it later. It sounds like you and Bill are acquaintances. We've met before, obviously. After all, my company has a lot of ties to the orphanage. But our real relationship is strictly a professional one.
I don't have any connections with him otherwise. On one of my trips to the orphanage, he happened to show me in his car. Real beauty that one was. So you don't know anything that goes on at the orphanage? I'm afraid not. Only our dealings at this stage involve the charity. Doesn't sound like I'll get anything useful out of him on this topic then. Let's investigate. What's up here? The History of the World, Part 0. Shouldn't it be Part 1? That book covers history before humans. We were only around for less than a fraction of this planet's life. This thing is huge! Have you read this whole book? Cover to cover. Though, now I only go back to specific portions of it. After all, how can we inhabit a world that we don't truly understand? If you read it, you might learn a thing or two. It's never a bad thing to broaden one's horizons. Right. Maybe I'll check it out another time. What's down here? Where in the world is carbon dioxide? Isn't that a children's book? It was Fi's favorite when she was younger. I used to read it to her every night. She's going to be a wonderful scientist someday. Scientist? What about the family business? Wow, actually good advice from Owen. Well, sometimes like the worst person can give like a nugget of proper honest advice. I would prefer that she follows her own path rather than my footsteps, says the guy who wants her to be a scientist. What's on here? Fiesta Fantasy 6 soundtrack. Stop snooping around. Sorry. Though, is that video game music? What of it? Fiesta Fantasy has some of the most beautiful music I ever listened to. The 6th game is where the composer truly shined. I didn't mean to offend. It's just surprising, is all. I always figured you for the type to listen to classical music all day. I can't stand classical music. I guess you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. What about you, Sophie? What kind of music do you like? I've been listening to some of the classics lately, like the band White Keys and Black Stripes. Have you heard that one-hit wonder Take You Out by Gavrilo and the Black Hand? No, I haven't. Give it a listen. His other work is great. He should have taken off beyond one song. Everyone seems to have their own musical tastes. Maybe I should expand my own beyond indie rock and coffeehouse jazz. You know what? Now that I know he listens to game OSTs, the man is completely innocent and he has done nothing wrong ever. Of course. He's a gamer. He's a gamer. He is 100% not a villain. Obviously. Let's check the lamp. Do you mind if I turn on this lamp? The room has sufficient light. It would be a waste of electricity. Please open these curtains a bit more. The light in this room is perfect for my taste. Equal parts moody and hopeful. Is he a vampire? Well, he can look the part. By the way, why is your office here and not at Eubank Investments? I have an office there, but I prefer this one for more private matters. The walls have ears. You can never trust them. That's why the most important matters are discussed here. Sounds like paranoia to me. Alright, we did check everything. Now, let's review statement. I should listen to his statement again. The money's collected and counted. Store here for safekeeping. After money's collected, it's counted and stored here for safekeeping. We're making arrangements to transfer the money to Klaus orphanage when our little incident happened. Not all the money collected was either still there or in your possession. Should we present this, I guess? Yes, Mr. Eubank. I'm sorry to say, but that's a lie. What are you talking about? We already checked the numbers. There's around 25,000 alms missing from the charity money. Of course, you already knew that, didn't you? You know that I think about it. You know what other visual novel rich guy Eubanks reminds me of? Who? Oh, the music. Ah, Togami. Yeah, you know, I can actually see that. I can actually see that. I don't know anything about that. Except Owen is superficially nicer. Yeah, true. Tell us what you did with the money. Money was accounted for perfectly. Your clumsy officers must have miscounted it. Unlikely story. Fortunately for him, I already know where a good idea as to where the money went. I just have to show it to him. Actually, Mr. Eubank, I have a better explanation. Take a look at this. Have to go back. Let's see. No. That's not it. I know I've got something on me. All I need to show is something that explains where the stolen money went. Let me see. Let me actually think. Now, where could they have used it?
Hey, stranger, how are you? I'm doing good. Well into case 3 right now. Trying to think of like the proper item. I'm funny. As usual, played some games. Nice, nice. Good way to chill with some gaming. Do we even have evidence that we can actually... Oh, maybe the car? Maybe. Nope. Nope, not the car. I need to explain where the stolen money went. Maybe... let me see. We did try the charity money, but... oh, there we go. According to your former maid, Chandra, those 25,000 alms were transferred not to the orphanage, but somewhere else entirely. A shell company, BG Turtles LLC. Ugh. And would you look at that? The amounts match perfectly. You stole the money, didn't you? BG Turtles is your company, and you tried to hide the proof. Of all the places to steal from... oh, sorry. Your own charity. You're stealing money from an orphanage. Enough of this. I will not stand here while you make up slanderous lies about me. You want the truth? I'll tell you the truth. In your sloppy investigation, you've overlooked several things. First of all, I already stepped down from my position at the charity. All I do is store the money. All of its decisions are made by my associate, Anton Chambers. The money was transferred before it even reached me. You can confirm that with Anton. What? I thought for sure he was the culprit. So you claim? Alright then, Mr. Eubank. We'll go confirm this with Mr. Chambers. But if his story doesn't match what you told, we'll be back. Do what you must. I have nothing to hide. Where can we find Mr. Chambers? He should be here in his office right now, at our headquarters. Here. Smart move, Owen? Yeah. He's trying to be tricky. He's trying to be sneaky. Show him this note to his assistant, Lau. He'll take you to him. Thanks. All right, when you're ready, we'll head there, Justy. All right, let's go. Yeah, we're in the lobby of Eubank Investments again. Ah, you two are back again. What do you want now? Hello, Loa. Thanks again for that information you gave us earlier. Is that all? Actually, we're here for something else now. We need to talk to Anton Chambers. Really now? And what business do you have with him? Does it matter? We just need to talk to him. Well, as I told you before, he's busy. Still? This is important. Yes, I'm sure it is. Fortunately, his business is more important. So why don't you just sit tight until he's done? If you don't like that, I'd be happy to book an appointment. The nerve of this guy! Hey, Sophie, can't we force him to let us talk with Anton? Fortunately not. It's better than we just wait here for a bit. There's gotta be a way to get to him quicker. Maybe we can show him what Owen gave us. We had a talk with Mr. Eubank, and I think you should take a look at this card. Mr. Chambers' office is on the 6th floor. You follow me? I thought he said he was too busy. Let's just go along with it, Justy.
This is our chance. Right. Still can't shake that feeling. Is Anton our culprit? Does this conspiracy run deeper? There's only one way to find out, and it lies beyond the office door. Deep breath, Justina. Eubank Investments President Office. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Mr. Chambers, 2 detectives are here to speak with you. Now I've been upgraded to detective? Can I drop an even wilder theory? Okay, let's see, what accent can we give him? I am busy right now, Lowell. They can wait. Fortunately, sir, it's rather urgent. Take a look at this. Thank you, Lowell. You may go. Yes, sir. So, you are the officers who have been causing us so much trouble recently. Nah, that's Detective Hunt. He can't keep his head out of anything. We just want to help an orphanage. And why are you here to bother me exactly? We're investigating Lacrosse charity. Klaus, sorry. Investigating? What purpose, what possible reasons could you have to investigate us? We are but a humble charity. One of Mr. Eubanks' former staff claims that some of the charity money is being embezzled. Huh. And you have some proof of this, I presume? We have enough to suspect some foul play. Do you mind if we ask you some questions, Mr. Chambers? If you must. So we think Anton is the fall guy for Eubanks, who in turn turns to be the real puppet master. But what if, Spooky's got like a whole list of plot lines that could potentially happen. What if Owen is also a puppet and there's a larger party who's using him as a front? These are all plausible choices. These are all plausible plot points. But we're gonna have to wait and see what actually happens. So, you're the president of Eubank Investments? That I am. This company would be nothing without me. Not to discount Owen's work, of course. But if that man got his way, his company wouldn't be at half the size it is now. Sounds like you two have some disagreements. Business is cutthroat. You either sink or you swim. Without direct aggressive action, you fall short of the competition. Owen doesn't understand that. However much of a skilled negotiator he may be, not every problem is solved at the bargaining table. Maybe it's just me, but everything this guy says feels a bit ominous. Wait, I just noticed that Anton straight up has a gun. Well, he is the second in command when it comes to the family. So... Why do you run it and not Owen? Owen found himself with too much work on his plate. I, however, don't mind the extra workload. Are you implying that this enterprise is secretly a mafia-esque organization? Not the first time it happened, even in real life. I took control of the charity several months ago. Owen, of course, remains a ceremonial role in the organization, and he stores the fundraised money himself. But anything that happens to the funds themselves fall under my purview. So what Owen told us is true. However, that just means Anton here is the one truly responsible. Maybe I should have a chat with him about the missing money. Yeah, what about the orphanage? What can you tell me about the Klaus orphanage? He helped set it up, and the charity benefits it. And the charity benefits it. Well, I think the cause is noble enough. I think that Bill is a bit misguided. Misguided? A cheap motel like that is no place for children. I think it's about time that Bill looked for a more suitable location. But of all the property in the city you could choose, he stubbornly sticks to this one. Hey, it's not that bad. Plus, Bill's got his reasons for it. Besides, what else would that motel be useful for? A motel isn't what matters. It's the land it sits on it. It's situated on a property gold mine. That land could be put to much better use. That whole area ought to be transformed into new luxury townhouses and condos. A plethora of Azure City's finest would love nothing more than to settle their families right next to the White Hall. What about the kids at the orphanage? Don't they deserve to go to White Hall too? How simple-minded, Oi. I wouldn't expect you to understand. What was that supposed to mean? Mr. Chambers, we wanted to know, have you been embezzling money from the Klaus charity? Coming out swinging, are we? What a preposterous accusation. 25,000 alms are missing from the charity money. If you're the one who runs the charity, then I imagine you'd have some knowledge about this.
A word of advice. Never shoot unless you know what your target is. Yeah, I know what happened to that money. I had it transferred to another company. What was the name of it? PG Turtles? So you admit to taking the money? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I never said I took it. Bill Klaus asked me to transfer it. But what? What are you talking about? Wait a second. Bill asked you to... Hang on. Why would Bill ask you to transfer money there? It's not my business to know. He said something about needing it to pay off some expenses. Now, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but if both the charity and the orphanage sign off on it, it's perfectly legal. So as long as the money is used to pay the orphanage's expenses, of course. As far as I'm concerned, once the money is transferred, it's Bill's responsibility. That may be the case, but do you happen to know who owns the company? You sure you want the answer to that? You may not like what you might find out. But I'll tell you, if only to stop this little charade. Bill Klaus owns BG Turtles, LLC. What? I must say, I didn't know about it myself. My assistant Lowell did some digging. That's how I found out. Sounds to me like you don't know old Bill as much as you thought you did. Okay, I didn't expect Anton to be smart. I'm beginning to think our Owen really is a puppet. Well, we'll have to see. Now, let me make something very clear to you two. All of our dealings here are nothing but above the board. We have nothing to hide. So, you want to go around accusing anyone of embezzlement? Sounds to me like you should be talking to Bill about it, not me. Bill, he never told us anything about this. That can't be right. Surely he had a good reason. Sophie, what do we do now? I don't know. Wasn't expecting that at all. I isn't going to like this. Let's head back to the station. You can regroup there. When you're ready, let's go. Right. There are a lot of imposing books and bookshelves. Let's see. There's a bunch of boring business books and Solar Wars, Rise of the Space Bears? Okay, that's an interesting movie. Space Bears. That is a sci-fi classic right there. It's a thrilling tale about a small farm boy who goes on an epic galactic quest and finds the unlikeliest of allies. My initial impressions about was completely wrong. I mean, appearances and first impressions always change. I think I've heard of this before, but I thought it was a movie. Indeed, this is the novelization of it. I'm a huge fan of the entire Solar Wars franchise, movies and books and all. Some people think they're a bit cheesy, but the world itself is very exciting and nuanced. I see. This is a very fancy looking chair. Is it real leather? This thing must have cost a fortune. I spend a lot of time in this office. It's only right that I have the best chair that money could buy. Honestly, it appears way more sharp than Mr. Eubanks. Yeah, he is aware. He is much more aware. As a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. If I have a subpar chair, it would be uncomfortable to sit here. That inevitably leads to subpar work, and I don't tolerate subpar work. I think you can get a decent chair for a lot less. You can put a price on quality. This chair will last a generation. A successor will be able to sit in this very same chair. I guess I didn't think of it that way. Hey, look, a chalkboard. I don't like this chalkboard. Why not? It's covered with numbers. Makes me feel like I'm in math class again. Ah, come on. Math class wasn't that bad. I think it's overhated. Don't get me wrong. I like the logic problems we'd sometimes get. But staring at a bunch of numbers, that just makes my head hurt, and I always preferred the art class. Is something wrong? Art classes and I never got along. I always wanted to get done quickly, so I botched just about every project I did. One time I thought I made the cutest little clay pot. But when it was fired, it completely fell apart. I think her approach might have been a bit flawed. Oh, you got quite a view of the city from up here. This is the best view of the financial district you can get here. Nothing brings me joy like the powerful imagery of skyscrapers dotting the horizon. It's a testament to humanity's power and determination. Walking on the street, I always saw these buildings as imposing over me. If you like views of the city, I have a secret spot I like to go when I need to clear my head. Maybe I can take you there sometime. I would love that. Alright, let's go back to the station. Station lobby. There's no way what he said was true. Gods, I hate this. I'm with you there. Work is never easy.
So what's next for our detective in training? I'm just a humble clerk. But I hate to say it, everything is pointing to Bill as the one behind the embezzlement. We should head back to the orphanage. Good, you're back. I finished taking Meg's statement. How did it go? She cooperated perfectly. Now it's up to the chief on what happens next. He was very happy about the case being reopened without his permission. But I explained the situation to him. He's willing to make an exception in this case. The three of you really need to be more careful. I can't keep covering for you like this. I'm sorry. Meg, I wish you could have told me the truth from the start. Hey, Sue, I'll make it up to you. Let me handle the paperwork for this case. Well, that's the first time you've ever volunteered for paperwork. Given that my clerk is off playing detective, it's all yours. Great! Let me see the file. Going to be buried in a pile of paperwork when this is over, aren't I? Something about all this is still bothering me. Sure, I'll finish the paperwork later. I want to go look at the car again. I swear, you detectives never make my life easy. Just get it done with by the end of the day. Thanks, Sue. Come on, Meg. I'll take you back on Zephyr. I got a motorcycle helmet with your name on it. Heck yeah! I never ridden a motorcycle before. But don't worry about me. I already got my own. I prayed to the gods that she can handle Zephyr better than mine. I'll take Sophie to the garage so I can show her the car. I wish you luck. Time for me to find Detective Hunt. Then I punched him in the face. You were always good at that. Detective? Who did you punch? I can explain. I even ask? Explain then. I was talking about someone punching someone in a fighting game. It started right before you came in. Remember after the closing night of the musical we did in high school? We went to the arcades for the after party and you beat me in front of the rest of the cast. That doesn't count. You were worn off from all the singing and dancing. You're normally too good at fighting games. Hang on. You did theater? We both did. Bill was our top singer, and I could win any dance battle thrown my way. Oh god, Detective Hunt can probably do some sick moves, sick dance moves. I just can't see you as anything else, anything less than a detective. I'm getting carried away. I need to talk to you outside, sir. Oh, sure. I'll be right back, Bill. Nobody calls.
Something wrong, Miss Assistant?
It's about BG turtles, and you're not going to like it. Sophie and I went investigating the charity, and, well, according to them, Bill had the money sent to BG Turtles, which he owns. That's true, then.
Bill's our culprit. You know I don't trust the U-Bags, right?
I do.
And you think they're telling the truth?
Much as I hate to admit it, I think so. There's nobody else who could else it could be.
Then, let me take care of this. Everything all right, Ernest? Listen, Bill, we didn't really come here because of the accident. We're investigating claims of embezzlement surrounding the orphanage. Does the name BG Turtles mean anything to you? What about it? And explaining your relationship with it? I have nothing to say. You know I can't accept that. Answer the question, Bill. Don't make this any harder than it has to be. And if I don't, then we'll have to discuss this further at the station. Miss Assistant, bring the card around. I have a few things to say in private.
I don't think...
Please, Justina.
Yes, sir.
You're still here?
Just moving the car.
What's with that look on your face?
Maybe some magic can cheer it up. We have to bring in Bill for questioning. We believe he's involved with the embezzlement.
What?
Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not surprised how quickly you changed your approach. First you go after my husband, and now Bill?
I never said your husband was guilty. He was just a suspect.
My husband has always been innocent. You're grasping at whatever straws you can.
Unfortunately, we don't have time to discuss all of it. We need to go.
It's true. Bill, what happened?
I'm sorry. Sorry. But I'm not speaking to anyone without a lawyer.
That's quite all right, Bill. I'll take your case if you let me.
You think I'm innocent?
We worked together for years. You always put the children before anything else. I'm sure this is all a big misunderstanding.
In that case, I accept.
I'll be heading to the station then.
Don't forget about me. I'm coming too.
What for? Bill's my friend. I know he'd never do such a thing. I'm not going to let you arrest him without giving me a chance to give my statement.
In that case, you can join us in the interrogation room. I'd like to ask you a few questions anyways.
This is going to be a long day. Once again, I was headed to the interrogation room to finish this case once and for all. Detective Hunt didn't say anything to me the whole ride back. Detective Hunt didn't say anything to me the whole ride back. I'm worried about him. I don't know if he can lead an interrogation like this. Only one way to find out.
End of Case 3, Part 1.
We're in the viewing room.
Okay, before we continue, let me just get a few stretches and then we can get right back to it. All right, just give me a second. Okay, we are back. All right, let's continue. Okay, let me just have everything here. Alrighty. Let's keep going. I took the opportunity on the way here to reorganize some of my notes. Hey, Detective Hunt? Yes, Miss Assistant? Are you sure about this? I'm worried about you. Bill's your friend, and you shouldn't be here. I appreciate the concern, but I have a job to do. That comes first. I won't let our friendship get in the way of finding the truth. Don't worry, you're a real interrogation room veteran at this point. We'll solve this together. Red! Sue just told me what's going on. Are you seriously going through with this? I am. Red, he's your best friend. He is. But I knew what I was doing when I signed up for this job. This case isn't just about Bill. Eubank Investments is involved too. If I don't do it, no one will. I have to see this through to the end. Red, let me handle this. I can question him. Sophie, I admire your tenacity, but you haven't handled an interrogation room before. I don't think you're ready. Actually, sir, I think she is ready. All this time, she has been proving herself. Without her, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have solved the Lear case without her. Not to mention, she could have just taken the easy route and arrested Doughboy, but she didn't. She knew he didn't do it. She was the key to us figuring out Bill's involvement in the first place. Let her have this, sir. It's time for you to step back. Justy. Besides, I'm a real interrogation room veteran, remember? I'll be there too. I guess I've been outvoted. I never thought I'd see my own assistant tell me to step back. Alright, fine. The room's yours. I'm counting on you two. I won't let you down, Red. Of course I did. You're a phenomenal detective, Sophie. You just need a chance to shine. It'll be an honor to conduct this interrogation with you. All right, let's go. Right behind you, detective. I think we might need a bigger room. The legal capacity of a room this size is 6 people. You're more than welcome to leave. Tempting,
but I want to see this case to the end. How do we get started? Let's see. Interrogation Basics Step 1. Confrontation. The detective confronts the suspect directly. Mr. Klaus, we have evidence that shows you've been embezzling charity money meant for the orphanage. What kind of evidence? We found proof that 25,000 alms fundraised by the Klaus charity were redirected to a shell corporation, BG Turtles LLC. According to Anton Chambers, Bill owns BG Turtles, and he requested the transfer. I swear, I didn't do anything wrong. While my client does own the company, he hasn't broken any laws yet. That money doesn't belong to him. How can you possibly defend that? Hang on, Justy. Haven't gotten to step 2 yet. Step 2. Establishing a motive. The detective tries to determine the motive for the suspect's action. I know your job isn't the highest paying, but stealing money from children is wrong. I would never steal from the children. Then I'd like you to explain why you had the money transferred, Mr. Klaus. Go ahead, Bill, just like we talked about. Please get us to step 3. Interrogation time. All the money that was sent to BG Turtles was used to cover the costs incurred by the orphanage, which I had paid out of my pocket. It was a way to quickly pay myself while I waited for the full donation to arrive. Bill's pretty good at this whole accounting thing, you know. He paid the orphanage's rent from his own account and then came up with the BG Turtles idea to cover it. Which one should we go for? As the transaction was used to cover the orphanage's own costs. Nothing criminal was done here. Release my client immediately. Which one shall we go for, though?
think. Wait a second. He said he paid from his own account and came, but let's see, which one shall we offer? Should be this one, right? Nope. Is that all? What do you mean, is that all? I don't know how to tell you this, Justy, but I don't think that proves anything. Oh, well, I must just be thinking too far ahead. Let me try again. Alright, what else can we actually ask? Dispute? Wait, hold on. A question. Hold on. Why would you have to cover things out of pocket? Klaus Orphanage's income come directly from donations from private or public entities, like the Klaus charity. Last month, when I was reviewing the accounting, I realized we were short around 25,000 alms. We didn't have enough money. We didn't have enough money to cover our costs. I either had to fail to pay rent or pay for it myself. So they just suddenly came up short? No way that's true. Alright, so what else do we ask? Let me think. Let's question. Is that true, Bill? Sure is. I was a plug-and-play accountant before I started the orphanage. I was pretty good at it, too. I was almost the top of my class. Almost? He lost to the stop. He lost the last spot. He lost the top spot to some girl named Penny Era. I would have beaten her if I hadn't gotten sick a week before the finals. I would have studied harder. I thought my sister couldn't let go of grudges. See. All the money was sent to BJ and was used to cover costs I incurred from the orphanage, which I had paid out of pocket. Statement. Nah, this isn't it. There's gotta be a problem with that explanation. Maybe this? Oh, okay. Unfortunately, Annie, that's not true. According to your own statements earlier, the orphanage has always made rent payments from its own account. Annie doesn't know what she's talking about. Look, the expenses got a bit mixed up, and I thought you were a pro at this whole accounting thing. Annie, when they asked Bill to testify, they only meant him. I didn't do anything wrong. She's the one with the evidence. Detective Swift, I request that Annie Codd be removed immediately. Sorry, but she's a key witness in this case. I'm gonna keep her here. Please, for the love of God, Annie, don't speak unless you're spoken to. Look, I get it. I'll stay quiet. If you pick a card. Back on the topic at hand, you didn't use the money to cover your rent. What could you possibly need it for? What do you have to say for yourself? Wait, no, that's too mean. This is all a misunderstanding. The money was used for a completely different purpose. And what purpose is that? I'll clear this whole thing up. Let me explain. The money purpose. All the money I had transferred was used to cover our maintenance expenses for the past month. There was a storm that moved through last month that caused a lot of damage to the property. We weren't expecting the increased costs, and I needed to have the repairs done quickly. Therefore, I had no choice but to cover the cost myself and then pay myself back through BG Turtles. So that's his story now. Convenient he only tells us this now. Well, there's no way I can disprove his claims about the storm damage. However, there's no way that this is the full story. Something about his explanation must not line up with the facts. I follow the money. I'm sure I had to find a problem somewhere. Let's question. 25,000 alms just for maintenance? Isn't that a bit high? There's a lot that needed to be done, but the costs ballooned fast. I ended up asking a lot of Meg, and I was not going to let her work for free. What sort of costs? My client is under no obligation to list everything he paid for. If you want to litigate every expense, go ahead and get a warrant for it. Hey, detective, do you think we can get a warrant for that? In order to obtain a warrant, you'll have to present your case to a judge. You need to explain what you're searching for and provide a justification for its relevance. I don't think it's going to help us either way. I'll just depend on the evidence I already have then. The money I had transferred, alright, let's let's look at the rent payments. No, that's not true. I don't know. I don't know how to tell you this, Justy, but I don't think that proves anything. Oh, well, I must just be thinking too far ahead. Let me try again. Nope, not this one. Certainly it's something else. Could it be this? A ledger of the orphanage's expenses from last month, totaling 50,000 alms, all of which were paid on time. Maybe? Oh, okay. Sorry, Bill, but we already know all your expenses for the past month, including maintenance. The amount that was used this month is far below the missing 25,000 alms. How do you know that? I found the orphanage's ledger when I was searching your room. Hey, I never said you could look at that. Detective, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but you can't use evidence that was obtained illegally. On the contrary, Bill told us directly that we could search his room. I shouldn't have to tell you this, Ferris, but you don't need a warrant when consent is given. Is this true, Bill? I didn't think they would. This is why you should consult me first, or you talk to them. No matter how we got it, the money couldn't be used to cover maintenance costs. There's a good reason for that. I gave the money directly to Meg. The money reimbursed her for her parts and labor she did. This doesn't make any sense. Something isn't adding up here. This doesn't make any sense. Something isn't adding up here. Any ideas, Detective? I think he's telling the truth. Somewhat. I think the real question we should be asking is there some other reason Bill would be giving Meg money directly? Do I have evidence like that? Another reason Bill would be paying Meg money? That must be. Should be for this, right? Wait, hold on. No, it's for his car. Oh, no.
It's the broken brakes, right? No? Could be this. Meg claims that she was working on Bill's car until 1:45 p.m. on the day of the crash. Bill has since hired her to repair this car for him. She almost finished. As it turns out, I know exactly why you were paying Meg money. She's been fixing your car for the past month. You had to pay her for the work she did. Well, that's quite the claim. But my client has insurance. Why on earth would he need the charity money to make those repairs? Huh, that's easy. Let me show you. This is why Bill needed the money. Needed money from the charity to repair his car. Let me think for a bit. Which evidence would be best here? Insurance letter? Inside Bill's office, I found a letter from his insurance company. They disputed the damages on his car and denied his claim. I doubt Bill had the money on hand to pay for the repairs, especially with his meager salary. Therefore, I think you stole the charity money in order to pay for your repairs. Now, hold on just a second. My client did not steal even a single alm of that money. Even if what you're saying is true, so... His usage of the money was perfectly fine, as I will explain to you now. Rebuttal, an ironclad defense. I'll concede you one thing. My client did, in fact, repair his car with that money. However, that car was just as much as the orphanage's car as his own. I use that car for everything. Without it, I'd be screwed. He considered the car repair a maintenance expense, so he had some of the charity money transferred to cover it. You will find that it was perfectly above board. Now, let my client go. Why did you not tell us this from the start? If Annie didn't open her mouth, he might have explained it. I'm just trying to help. You really needed the money. Why would he use a secret shell company? When I think about it from that angle, there must be a reason. Let me think. Nothing about this whole affair seems above board to me. I don't think Chandra would risk her job over some perfectly legal transaction. Who's Chandra? She's the former maid of the Eubank estate. She's the one who found the money, the money was being sent to BG Turtles. She was fired from her actions, you know. I didn't know this would happen. If she really thought something was wrong, she should have told us herself. Her actions say more about her character than yours. I think he really feels bad about it. Yeah, there's quite a lot of items here. Wait a minute. Let's actually look at the contract. We're getting there, though.
Oh my god. Let me actually figure this out. Could it be this? No, hold on. Ah, there it is. That should be the one. Ferris, it seems like you forgot what you told us earlier today. The charity money can only be used on anything directly related to the orphanage. It also cannot benefit someone at either the charity or the orphanage directly. This car belongs to him, not the Klaus orphanage. That directly violates the national charity standards. The real purpose of BG Turtles was to hide the money, so he wouldn't get caught in his next audit. I can't believe you, Bill. That money was raised for the kids, not your car. You win. I give up. Ferris, you did your best to help me. Thank you. There was nothing wrong with what I did. I used my car every day for those kids. When Rina was sick, I took her directly to the hospital in my car. When Lloyd wanted to visit his father, and he missed the bus, I drove him in my car. That car was just as important to this orphanage as you and me. But the government would never see it that way. This was the only way. Ferris, you knew this, didn't you? I did what was best for my client. I've known him for years. He would give an arm and a leg for those kids. He says it was necessary. I believe him. He says it was necessary. I believe him. So that's why you defended him. Bill's a good man. Bill's a good man. I don't want his reputation ruined. Annie, you agree, right? I did before coming in here. What he did was wrong. I'm not going to defend his character anymore. Annie! No, she's right. It was wrong. No matter how I spin it, this was all done to fix my car. Detective Swift, I'm sorry for lying. Let me at least give my full confession. I think we skipped towards step 8, but if you're sure, the room is yours. Bill Klaus's confession, the full truth. I confess, I had Anton send the 25,000 alms to my own company, BJ Turtles. By doing so, I was able to circumvent the law and avoid an audit. I swear, that may have been my car, but it's the unsung hero of the orphanage. If only the kid had loosened the brakes on your car, then we wouldn't be in this mess at all. I guess the gods work in mysterious ways. I guess we're finished here, right? Not so fast, Justy. Don't forget, we're not just after the embezzlement case. Look over that confession
again. I swear I heard something weird in there. Or it's almost like I'm the detective here. Still, she seems quite certain of it. Let's see. Loosen the brakes. That didn't actually happen. That did not actually happen. Annie, why are you saying the brakes were loosened? Eh? Everyone knows the brakes were the reason for the crash. Nobody ever reported how the brakes failed. In fact, Meg told the police recently that she had damaged the brake pad. So, why did you say the brakes were loosened? Oh, well, I just guessed. I don't think that was the case at all. In fact, the brakes were loosened. Wait, they were? Remember when I said the brake incident was bothering me? I looked back over the car with Meg and we discovered that the brakes were loose. No one told me this. Are you saying that Meg didn't cause the car crash? I don't think she did. The brake pad was damaged in the crash. Someone else clearly intended to cause the accident. Detective, you don't really think. Bill, we can finalize your confession later. Annie Card, you are hereby under the arrest for the attempted murder of Bill Klaus. You don't have to speak to us, and you're free to have a lawyer present during our questions. But this time, you are not free to leave. I guess I have a phone call to go make. Viewing room. I shouldn't have any need for the evidence related to the embezzlement anymore. I'll consolidate my evidence just to just the accident case. Good work, you two. For a couple of first-timers, you did well. Excuse you, but I'm a third-timer. Really, Sophie deserves the credit. Without her, we'd have gotten nowhere. Oh, please, you were the one slamming the table. I just helped out. I guess you want your case back, Red? As much as I would love to jump back in, it's not my case. Our crash was always yours, Sophie. Go finish what you started. I can't do that. This case would have gone cold if not for you. You deserve this. Listen, Sophie, you need to learn that not every case you work on will be solved. Sometimes the evidence is destroyed. Sometimes a lawyer will have it thrown out. In those cases, you just have to accept that life won't always have the answers. So when there's a chance to try again, take it. You might never get that chance again. Thank you, Ernest. Well, one case down, one more to go. Mind if I cut in? Detective Swift, I'd like to stay. If she's really the suspect, I want to give my side of the story. Certainly, whatever you can give. Thank you, Detective. And Ernest, you're the biggest idiot I know, Bill. Detective! But I know you don't have an evil bone in your body. We can talk later. For now, we have to wait for Annie's lawyer. I'm taking over Annie's case.
You are?
It's for the good of the Eubank investments. I'll need a moment to speak with her before the interrogation.
This is going to be tricky. Bill, can you think of any reason Annie might try to harm you? Of course not. We worked together for years. Besides, I was with her the whole day. He never had the chance to mess with my car. Is that so? Well, good luck to you two. You'll need it.
Thanks. Gods, how does anyone expect me to solve 2 cases in one day? Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to... Sorry, wrong page.
Oh my god. You need to chill, Swift.
Miss Card, as we explained earlier, you are being held under arrest for aggravated assault and attempted murder. What do you have to say for yourself? My client denies any wrongdoing. After all, I think you are forgetting one important detail. You had a suspect the whole time, Ryan Noyle. I was wondering about that. Bill, did you see anyone running from the garage before you started driving?
Well, no. Annie was the one who saw them.
I did, and I can explain it. A suspect from nowhere. That day, I was in a meeting in my office with Bill until around 1:50 p.m. That day, I was in a meeting in my office with Bill at around 1:50 p.m.
Wait, why is he repeating the same thing?
I was the first one to leave, and that's when I saw the kid running from the property. At the time, I didn't know why he was there. Bet he must have been there that day to sabotage the brakes. Oh yeah, he confessed to it too, didn't he?
I don't think he did.
Also, she said he must have been there for to sabotage the brakes. No, we clearly know he had to go there to meet Meg because of the love letter, the fake love letter. And it looks like we may potentially find the person who actually wrote the love letter. It's probably her. All right, it's the letter. Boom. Actually, Annie, we already know why Fry was at the orphanage that day. Fry got a love letter, supposedly from Meg, who invited him to the orphanage at a very specific time, 1:50 p.m., which would just so happen to be right around when you claimed to have seen him. However, Meg never wrote that letter. It was a fake. Someone else wrote this letter and sent it to Fry. Someone who was familiar with Meg's life. Someone at the orphanage. Why on earth would someone forge a love letter? You're grasping at straws here. Simple, that's because someone wanted to frame Fry. It's obvious that someone wanted to pin the crime on Fry. Someone who knew they'd see him at that exact time. The only person who could have forged the letter, and the only person who claims to have seen Mr. Noyle fleeing the scene, it was you, Annie Card. You sure do love your wild stories, but it's just that, a story. Don't get me wrong, you've spun quite the narrative, but it's all circumstantial. Do you have anything that actually concrete connecting my client to that letter? Ah! She's right. I know Annie wrote that letter, but I have no way of proving it. Unfortunately, the letter was typed, so we can't do a handwriting analysis. You see, Annie, they don't have anything on you. You'll be out of here soon. Besides, my client never went anywhere near the garage that day. That's right! I was in my office the whole day.
Bill was there with me. He can attest to it. She's right. We had meetings all day while the kids were at school.
Then let's start from the beginning. What were the meetings about?
Anton Chambers came to visit us in the morning. The three of us spoke about the future of the Klaus orphanage. Anton arrived at 12:30 p.m. and Bill arrived at 1 p.m. To put it simply, he was hoping I would move locations. At the time, I told him that moving was not negotiable. He left right around the same time I did. Move the Klaus orphanage? That was never brought up until now. I should keep that in mind. I can ask him about this later. Let's see. The suspect claims to have an alibi. Press them until it breaks. We know the brakes had have to been tampered with during Meg's break between 1:45 p.m. and 2 p.m. Mr. Card, please give us your statement as to where your whereabouts during that time period. Second trick, Card's mundane meeting. I never left my office until the meeting had ended. Anton and Bill were there as well, so they can confirm that. The meeting itself, all we did was talk about business. Nothing unusual happened. There was never a moment where those two weren't watching me. Are you sure? Well, she was doing a magic trick. Yeah, what do you mean meeting? She was doing a magic trick right around that time. Wait, this isn't... Yeah, this isn't the right one. Maybe it should be for a different one. All we did was talk business? Yeah, that's us. Nothing unusual happened? That's weird, because that's not all what you told us earlier. Earlier today, you told us about your meeting with Bill, and it just so happens that you told us about a certain event that happened during it. Namely, you said you showed off your new magic trick. That doesn't sound like business to me. Well, I always perform magic tricks during my meetings. I just consider that part of business. She wanted to show a rope trick before our meeting ended. I protested, but Anton was interested. What kind of rope trick? It's pretty simple. A member of the audience would tie my hands with rope. I walk inside a cabinet, and a moment later, I would walk out with the rope undone. Aha! Nobody saw you after you entered the cabinet. You could have snuck out then. You can't be serious. They would have seen her if she just walked out of it. She was in there for a bit, but she was clearly struggling to do her trick. After all, she kind of failed at it. It's true. I couldn't get the rope off, so I had to give up. I still had my hands tied when I came back out. That's what I get for not practicing enough. Wait, what? Bill, is that true? Yeah, I tied her up myself, and Anton confirmed it was tight. When she got out, she still had her hands tied. Anton had to cut it to free her. It was pretty tight too, so he had to cut it pretty short. Annie's bindings. Et voila! Your case crumbles once again.
For the entire length of the meeting, my client was either watched by 2 witnesses or she was inside a box with her hands tied. So you see, there was no possible way that my client could be guilty. Detective, I demand you release my client immediately. No way. It can't end like this. Hold on. Let me check Red's notes. By cabinet, do you mean the one near the door? Yeah, that one. It's used for a lot of tricks. I see. In that case, I'd like to hear a little bit more about the trick itself. Is that really necessary? This is my interrogation, and I'll conduct it as I see it fit. Now, Annie, if you don't mind, I can give you the basic rundown, but remember, a magician never reveals her secrets. Maggie Shawn's extraordinary escape. As part of my trick, my hands are to be bound tightly before I enter the empty box alone. The audience then watches the box closely, which is sealed shut and locked. There's nothing inside the box, and no other means of escape. But voila! A few moments later, Maggie Shawn appears, having escaped her bindings. Or, well, that's what was supposed to happen. But I couldn't get out of the rope. Annie is our culprit. She must have escaped somehow. Detective, you don't think it's possible for people to teleport, do you? Teleport? You aren't really considering that, right, Justy? I don't know. How else did she sabotage the brakes? You're really committed to prove my client guilty, even when all the evidence suggests otherwise. No matter. However you try to weasel and squirm, you cannot change the facts. And the fact is, you're out of luck. I think I want to go back to paperwork now. A box in the garage for storing rope. It's full of tangled frayed rope. Meg claims there was originally one spool of rope inside. There's nothing inside the box? What about this? No, it's not the one. Alright, let's skip that. No other means of escape. This definitely should be the one. Oh, a cabinet used. The back of the cabinet has a hidden door, and there are wheels underneath it to allow it to be moved easily. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. Actually, there was a way you could escape. There's a false panel at the back you could exit through. That's the secret to your little trick. Does the game have any penalties for getting anything wrong, like Ace Attorney or LA Noire? No. It doesn't seem like it. You do not get any penalties for this. Interesting, to say the least. But, yeah. At least with Tyrion Cuthbert, like, when it comes to, like, having the interrogation scenes, you have like a life bar that if you manage to fail at it, you have to do the interrogation all over again. Not in this game, though. Stop ruining the magic. I'll concede that she had a secret way out of the box. However, have you forgotten where in the room the cabinet was? It was right up against the wall. And if she did escape, she'd be stuck. What if the cabinet wasn't flush with all the... Oh, sorry. What if the cabinet wasn't flush with the wall at that time? And how did she leave the room? The only exit is the door, where she would have been spotted. Unless you're about to propose, she used the magic to leave the room as well. Did you, Annie? If you pick a card, I'll tell you. Drat. This is going nowhere. That panel is the only way she could have left without being seen. There has to be a way. I just gotta think. How did Annie leave the room without being spotted? There's a hidden door in the room. She distracted Bill and Anton. She moved the box. She used magic. Move the box? What if she moved the box beforehand? After all, it's been a month. We have no way of knowing it was in the same spot it is now. Bill, do you remember where in the room the cabinet was? Not really. She tends to move her furniture around a lot, so it's hard to keep up. And Justina could have a point. We just have to show an area where she could have put the box to allow her to leave unseen. Where the cabinet could have been, it must be... It has to be the window, right? There's exactly one spot the cabinet could have been that would allow Annie to enter and exit the room unseen. And that place is the window. Think about it. The cabinet would have blocked their view. She could have slipped out of the back of the cabinet through the window into the garage. Then, when she was done, she simply snuck back in and pretended like her trick failed. Even if the cabinet was placed in front of the window, how do you explain the rope around her hands? She couldn't have opened it and jumped while tied up. It's obvious, isn't it? She really was able to untie her bindings. Her trick worked, just not in the way anyone expected. Annie, tell them how your trick really works. I can't do that. A magician never... How do you escape the bindings? I'm supposed to have someone purposely tie the rope in such a way that it slip my hands out. I thought I was good enough to get out of the rope, but but I failed. And there you go. While it's possible for her to escape the bindings, she could only do so if Bill had purposefully tied the rope in a way that enabled it. Bill, did you do such a thing? No. There you have it. Unless you want to claim the box has a hidden blade inside, Annie couldn't untie herself. If that's the case, here's Annie's statement on the matter. You really don't know when to give up, do you? I didn't come this far to give up when we were so close. This case is dead in the water. I want to sink with it. The detective is up for it. So am I. Go ahead. Waste our time even more. You're supposed to help me. Don't encourage them. Let them flounder. They can't prove any of this. Fine, but this is the last time. The final act. Maggie Sean's impossible escape. There's no way I could have escaped that rope alone. Bill would have had to tie it in just the right way, and Anton would have not noticed. The only way out of the rope at that point would be cutting it. But even if I did cut the rope, it would be too short for me to tie my hands again. It's not like there was extra rope lying around for me to use. Then what is this? What is this rope box then, Missy? Actually, Annie, there was extra rope lying around. Man keeps a box of rope in the garage. It just so happens to be the place you were going to anyways. This is ridiculous. How can you prove any of that? You know, something was bothering me since I found that box. It was full of short pieces of frayed, tangled rope. They would have been completely useless. The way the rope looked, it was almost as if it came from someone cutting up knotted rope. How does it prove anything? The rope could have come from anywhere. Hang on, I'm not done. Bang also said something else that was interesting. There was supposed to be a long spool of rope inside, but when we looked, it was missing. Ah, sorry. I double-clicked again. It's almost as if someone took it, and I know exactly who that person was. Then how do you explain how Annie got the rope in the first place? As we already explained, it was impossible for her to untie herself. It all comes down to this, the final piece of the puzzle. How did Annie escape the bindings? Before she entered the box, while she was inside the box, she escaped while in the box. Then she needed some way to cut herself loose. This one? No, I don't think that's right. But I guess it should be before. Yeah, and we'll use the bindings. Anton was the last person to check on Annie's bindings before she entered the box. He also had a knife on him, as we established, meaning he cut the rope before Annie entered the box. Anton? What are you... That doesn't... It's obvious the two of them were working together. That's ridiculous. You can't prove any of this. We can certainly pay Anton a visit and see what he tells us. We only need one of you to talk. So how much do you trust him to keep his mouth shut? Detective, I don't understand. Why would Annie attack me? She has no reason to. Actually, Bill, I know exactly why. The two of you were working together. She wanted the orphanage gone. She wanted revenge. She wanted money. Probably money? It's clear to me that she was after your money. Her plan was to intimidate you so she could extort you. That's a slanderous accusation. My client would never do such a thing. I'm just the director of an orphanage. I barely make enough to make me ends meet. And he knows about that. I'd be the worst person to extort for money. I think he went a little off the rails there. I'm sure Annie had a motive, but this isn't it. Why don't you try again? She wanted the orphanage gone? No, I don't think so. Revenge? Revenge for what? Well, let's see. It's obvious, isn't it? She did it out of revenge. You must have done something wrong to her, and she attacked you out of retribution.
That's ridiculous. I have nothing against Bill. Penny and I are friends. She'd have no reason to want revenge on me. Makes sense, but we wanted to go for the funny. As much as I hate to admit it, I think she wanted to scare you. She wanted you to move the orphanage to a new location, and so she set up this plan with Anton to make it happen. After all, Anton was pretty interested in buying it. The motel isn't what matters. It's the land it sits on. It's situated on a property gold mine. That land could be put to much better use. That whole area ought to be transformed into new luxury townhouses and condos. A plethora of Azure City's finest would love nothing more than to settle their families right next to the White Hall. That's not... If I wanted him out so badly, why didn't I just evict him? I'm his landlord after all. Come on, we both know that was impossible. And this explains why. The lease, right? Your contract was ironclad. There was no way they could force you to leave. You'd have to do so willingly. So their plan was either to scare you into leaving or kill you. What? Ready to talk yet, Annie? Or should we go pay Anton a visit now? You talk first. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. Uh-oh. Ah, she threw her cards. Good performer knows when to throw in the cards. Fine, I confess. Annie, why? I don't understand. We worked together for 5 years. Helped raise the kids as your own. You just decided to move out. Would have done everything to help. But you wouldn't do it. Too stubborn for it. I didn't have another choice. I thought if I scared you and the kids, you'd leave. What better way to do so than have you got hurt? The funny thing is, it worked. It worked? After the car accident, the kids were scared, so I agreed to the move. I thought Meg caused it, so I played along with their story to keep her safe. I knew for a long time that a motel was no place to raise children. A more conventional home would be better, and that was the straw to break my back. So I agreed to move further away, on the condition that the students could at least finish their semester in May. I see. So then, why did you want him to move? When I first inherited the motel, I had a few offers to buy it. But then what? Live off that money for a few years, and then go have a real job? At the time, I had no goal, no motivation. Phil offered something no one else could, a chance to do something good. So I took it. I figured that even if I died, I at least helped some kids have a better life. Then I discovered stage magic. I had something I was not only good at, something I wanted to do. Then I was trapped in a place I could no longer sell, which is why I needed money more than ever to perform my magic around the world. That's when Anton came to me and offered a way out. He gave me the deal of a lifetime. He'd buy the property for enough money I could finally pursue my dream. All I had to do was get Bill to sell. That little, we did not agree to any of that. If Anton agreed to buy it, he was going around us completely. He can't make promises like that without informing me. He said it was prime real estate. He just needed Bill gone. Do you have any idea what the hell you two were doing? If the public finds out about this, it will ruin you bank investments. How is that what she's worried about the most? Bill could have died. Why? Why did you tell me what was going on? There had to be a better way. If you could have paid the same amount, I would have sold you the whole place. But you couldn't. I had no choice. I can't believe this, Annie. What are the kids going to think? Could you really look Meg in the eyes and tell her that your career was worth more than my life? I took the calculated risk that you'd be driving too slow for it to be dangerous. His life isn't a calculated risk. To think I defended you. I believed in you. You know something, Ferris? I never liked you. You act all high and mighty, like everything in life is fair. But if you stopped working right now, where would you be? Living it up in a mansion, doing whatever you want. I had your money, and I've been free to live my life however I want. And would it be worth it? Knowing that it comes at the cost of those kids' homes? Bill would have found me another place. I was done worrying about other people for a change. I think we heard enough. Let's finish this case up. After we finalized her confession, Annie was taken away. Ferris left without another word. She looked even angrier than usual. Viewing room. Justy, we did it! We really did it. Come here. Ah! Is this a hug or is she trying to kill me? Yeah, it looks like she's about to suplex her. Uh-oh. We did it. We solved the case. You did it. I'm so proud of you. Light fading. Lungs failing. You okay over there, Miss Assistant? You're turning pretty red. Can't breathe. Help. Sorry. I guess I went a little overboard. More than a little. I wanted to be the first to say, great work, both of you. You solved 2 cases in a single day. I'm pretty impressed with how you two did it there. You make for a great team. I think I may have to give you my assistant, Sophie. I think I'm ready to just be a clerk again. I don't think I could keep doing this. But you're really good at this. You can't stop now. Hey, why don't we go take Zephyr for a victory lap after this? We can celebrate properly then. Please not Zephyr again. I can't believe it. Annie, she could have killed me. And all over the orphanage, no less. Hey, was everything a lie? Did the orphanage just mean nothing to her? I think she would throw it all away. Come on, Nabil. You know that isn't true. Actually, I know for a fact it isn't true. I can prove it. Here's the proof that Annie did really care about the orphanage's residents. It could be the letter, because we didn't actually see the letter yet. Oh. I could have sworn that it could be the letter. What about Meg's car? Meg finished rebuilding her car. This card provided her with the parts and taught her. Oh. It wasn't for Annie. If it wasn't for... Oh yeah, this is definitely Ace Attorney. We have to present the evidence to the defendant at the end of each case. Yeah, I told you. It's very Ace Attorney coded. If it wasn't for Annie, Meg would have never found her true passion in life. She taught Meg everything she knew about working with machinery. Plus, she helped Meg completely rebuild a car. I don't believe that was all for nothing. I think she really did value the orphanage. And you too. I just think she felt stuck. And that made her desperate. Thank you. Justina, was it? I'm sorry for causing you all so much trouble. And Ernest, I'll talk to you later, Bill. I have a lot to say to you in private. Anyways, what are you still doing here, detective? I thought you'd be at home by now. Detective never rests until his work is done. Besides, there's one more thing we need to take care of. Why don't you go wait inside? I'll be right back.
Any idea what's going on? Only one way to find out. What's this about?
Well, you two were the ones who kickstarted this sprawling affair, so we wanted to give you a little update. We've solved the embezzlement case.
One explanation later. Wow! So the Eubanks didn't take the money. I guess I may have jumped the gun.
Cheer up, Chandra. It's thanks to us the orphanage is getting all its money. Hey, don't be too proud of yourselves. You still committed a crime.
So what now?
You can certainly put in a good word with the prosecutor. As short-sighted as your robbery was, it did help us uncover the real crime.
If only I had been caught. Just accept it, Hannah. We lost. But thanks for trying to cover for me.
Anytime, partner.
Next time I'll take the truth to my grave.
Please don't. You gave me enough of a headache last time.
Afterwards, Sophie and I went out to celebrate our victory. As expected, I got completely swamped in paperwork the next day. Sue said I had to do double the work to make up for my little adventure. I told her I was finally ready to retire from my detective work. And then, a new case popped up. I was called upon once again. So much for retirement. End of case 3.
Alrighty, I think this would probably be a good place to stop. We finished case 3, and we got only 2 more cases to go. Although I have a good feeling that it'll still be connected to the first 3 cases. Because, I mean, that's what the game mentioned. It's going to be like a very big interconnected case that has several cases underneath. And I still have a good feeling that this whole Turtles LLC thing is pretty sus. I am pretty sure that is pretty sus. So yeah, we'll see next week how case 4 is going to be, but I'm pretty interested to see how that goes. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching tonight, either live or via the archives. Tomorrow, hopefully, we still need to check with one person before we actually get to do this, but we are going to back to Monster Hunter World this week. And hopefully this time we will try to defeat Fatalis, because we've tried for like 3 to 4 streams and we still haven't got him yet. But maybe this time this will be the one. This will be the stream in order to beat Fatalis. I managed to do it solo, and now we have to do it like all 4 of us together. And yeah, we'll try our best there. With that said, let me see if I can actually raid someone on Twitch. We need someone having a visual novel. Is anyone streaming a visual novel? Because this is a visual novel. I don't think anyone is playing Perjury right now. But let's see. Oh, who is this though? They are playing a hungry lamb traveling in the late Ming Dynasty. Oh, I heard of that one. Okay, maybe we can raid them. I guess the real paper perjury was the... I guess the real paper was the perjury we made along the way. Yeah, probably. Oh, wow. Can we not raid them? Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Let me try again. Nope. We can't raid them. Well, let's try looking for someone else. Oh, maybe we can raid Aiko again because she's actually playing 100-line Last Defense Academy. That's pretty neat. It's made by the same folks who worked on the Danganronpa series, so that might be interesting. Yeah, let's try raiding her. Okay, guys, once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.